All right, welcome back. I hope by now you're getting a little bit more comfortable with one-sided limits, especially after looking at the last example and reading the definitions of one-sided limits within Canvas. So we're going to use the graph of this function f of x, and again, it's unlabeled, so let's label it. This whole thing is f of x. There. Now that it's labeled, what are we actually going to do with this graph? We are going to look at what happens to this function f of x, that is, what value it approaches as x approaches -8 from the right. So when you see that plus sign, think it's here, the negative sign is here, here's -8. So the plus sign tells you to approach from the right. And then of course we also want to approach it from the left, which is what that negative sign here tells us. So that's from this direction. And then we're going to see, what does this tell us about the limit as x approaches -8 of this function f of x. So first of all, let's look at this. So let's look at the limit as x approaches -8 from the right. And that would mean that our x is coming again from here. What's happening to our function? Well, it's getting lower and lower. And in fact, the y value is going down here. Oh, that's not its value though. The y value is going all the way down here, and that's to -6. Now let's look at approaching from the left. So that means we're going in this direction, and again you can see it's the same y value. This is connected here. So the limit as x approaches -8 from the left of f of x is equal to, again, -6. So what does this tell us? Well, so if the right hand and left hand limits approach the same value, then the limit exists. So again, not only does the limit exist, but it actually approaches the same value. Are all of them always this easy? Let's try a different one. So I'm going to write two more problems that are not in your notes down that we're going to use the same graph for. So I want to examine the limit as x approaches 6 from the left of f of x. And I want to look at the limit as x approaches, and this is +6. We're not in the habit of writing +6, just 6. So 6 from the right-hand side of f of x. All right, so here's 6. And as we approach from the left, the y value is here. So the y value is approaching almost 2. So I'm going to guess that this is about 2. Now as we approach from the right, that's this green arrow, the y value actually is a little higher, because this function, when you're going at it from this direction, goes all the way up here to about +5. So now we have a different conclusion. Since the limit as x approaches 6 from the left of f of x does not equal the limit as x approaches 6 from the right of f of x, we know that the limit of f of x, the limit as x approaches 6 of f of x does not exist. Sometimes written DNE. I hope this video was helpful.